back to the channel, and if you are new here, I am Kay, an astrologer, numerologist and spiritual witch here on YouTube. Listen, if you've been attracted to this video, take this as your confirmation from your own spirit guides and angels that you were meant to receive it. Check out the new book by me also, Make It Happen, How to Manifest Anything. The link is in the description box below. Let's get into your video. Hello Gemini, and I hope you've had a wonderful month of August. Welcome to your September horoscope. This is what I see for you for this particular sign. Of course, I can't comment on what other astrologers may find, but I hope that there is something here for you. So what's going on for this sign this month? I see a lot of activity around your home life, private life, your love life, in particular your dating life, and also your direction and where you're going. As we start the month of September, what we've got here on the screen is the chart for the full moon day. So this is how the universe is going to look. But before we get there, the sun is actually in the sign of Virgo. So this is where your home life and your private life and your foundations come into play. The sun will be blessing this area because the sun brings health, growth and vitality. So your home life and what's going on here should be quite good. I'm hoping for you. This also includes the area of life that you don't put on social media. So anything that you call secure, anything that you call private, the sun is here blessing this. By the time we actually get to the full moon, which will be on the 10th of September at 9:59 a.m. This is GMT, my local time. It may be the same day or it could be the day before for you, depending on where you are in the world. It's going to be a Pisces full moon and it's going to be 17 degrees. So on the chart, as we can see down on the bottom part of the screen, circled in pink, we have the moon at 17 degrees. Just opposite that, we have the sun at 17 degrees of Virgo. So this gives us a full moon when we've got these two energies in opposite signs. Now, where this is going to fall for you is actually going to be where the arrow and number 1 is. You're having a full moon around your career, your ambitions, your direction, and this is also the house of the father figure. So this is a really cool area to have a full moon in. Full moons are ideal times to expand and go really hard on what it is that you want and what it is that you desire. It's a really powerful part of the moon's phase. And for you, this is around your career. So if you have ideas, if you have something you're trying to work on, if you want to put some extra, I want to say oomph or some extra, energy into this part of your life, the full moon could be great around that time of the month. Two key things that are going to impact on all the signs this full moon, but how it relates to the sign of Gemini is that, first of all, the moon is going to form a really nice conjunction with the planet Neptune. So on the screen, we've got the moon down the bottom, circled in pink, and just to the right of her, circled in black, this is the planet Neptune. Neptune will also be in retrograde as well. So when a planet kind of conjuncts with another one, it's basically a merging of energies. The planets are working together. The moon will represent our emotions and how we feel, and Neptune is about our hopes, dreams, our reality, and what it is that we desire or want on a soul level. So this translates to whatever it is that you're feeling, that you've been hoping for or you've been desiring. Now is a good time to be working on this, or now is a good time to be moving forward with this, Gemini, because this aspect for you is going to fall in the same area, your 10th house. So where the arrow and number 1 is, it's up by your career, your direction, your ambition, and any kind of father figures or authoritative figures that you have in your life, or strong male figures. So it's a really good time to think about what it is you've been feeling about this area of your life and go for it. Keep in mind, as I said, Neptune is in retrograde, and often this is a planet that does like to highlight and point out where we're being a little bit delusional or where we're not being very realistic, and this generally tends to happen during a retrograde. That's when we get the reality check. When he's in a forward motion, that's when we can kind of be dreamy, and think about what it is that we want and maybe not see things as realistically as we should be. But now he's retrograde, he's pulling you back to do with something with your career for you to be realistic about this and to see how you feel. The second thing that's going on for you, Gemini, what I see this month is that the moon, she's going to form a square with the planet Mars. So where we have on the screen, up on the right hand side, we've got a planet circled in black, and you've got kind of like a red symbol. This is Mars, and then you've got a line drawing it down to where the moon is. So these two planets, or these two energies, because the moon is not technically a planet but Mars is, but these two energies are going to be in a square. Now square energy is more like frustrations or conflicts or needing to make some kind of decision. And how this will fall for you, Gemini, is that because Mars is actually in Gemini, where the arrow and number 2 is, he is going to be in your first house of you. So what this means is potentially mid-month for some Geminis, you could come into a place where you are feeling a little bit emotionally conflicted about something, because it's the moon, which is emotions, and Mars, which is also about determination and how we move forward. So there could be something that is making you feel emotionally, I don't want to say the word drained, but you either might be feeling as if you really want to go after something, or you're conflicted over whether you should. It's going to be to do with what you should do, or action or movement, because Mars is the planet of action, movement, let's go. It's also the planet of, determination, how we show up in the world and how we feel motivated to get things done. Be mindful as we head towards mid-month how this does impact on you. This could be in any area of your life because Mars is in your first house, so it's all about you. So as we move through the month, Gemini, and we then get towards the end of the month, we've gone through the full moon in Pisces. We are then due to have the new moon in Libra, which is really cool. This is going to be your sister air sign. So this is good energy for you having a new moon in an air sign. Before we get there, we've got on the screen, we've got the chart for the new moon day. Towards the end of the month, by this time, the sun would have shifted from Virgo. So now we would be into Libra season. So this is where your dating, your creativity, your romance, your sex life, and even children, and how you have risks and, go out and have fun. This is what's under the spotlight. So you could be feeling some positive energy around these parts of your life. If you're dating, if you're looking for love, if you've recently found someone, if you've got creative projects going on, even anything to do with your children, or you're just thinking about having some fun. So do go out and enjoy that energy, because it's a really nice part of life to have the sun in. The new moon at 2 degrees of Libra, which will be on the 25th of September at 9:59 p.m. This is GMT, my local time, could be the same day or the day after for you. This is going to fall in that same area of your life, around your dating, romance, creativity, children, risk taking, and how you have fun. Now, new moons are completely different energies to full moons. It's about new cycles, going in new directions, and starting afresh with things. So if you are a Gemini who wants to start afresh with your dating and love life, or looking for love, or even if you are seeing someone currently at the moment, a new moon would be a great time to think about that part of your life. Now, a couple of things that are happening. The new moon, what we've got here on the screen, we can see circled in pink, we've got the sun and the moon at 2 degrees of Libra, just on the bottom right hand side of the screen where number 1 is. This is actually where the new moon is going to be for you, in your 5th house. Just to the left of that, we're going to have Mercury and Venus also forming a conjunction. So as mentioned in the first part of the horoscope, when we've got conjunctions with planets, they're working together. So what we're talking about here with Mercury and Venus is your thoughts and what you're thinking, and any communication that you have. This could be emails, letters, faxes. I don't even know if people still use fax machines these days, but I'll chuck it in there because it is a form of communication. So that kind of area of life, anything that you're thinking about, anything that's communication, and anything that's to do with education or even short trips, this is working well with what you desire, because Venus is a representation of our desires, what it is that we want. Also, she's a representation for love, money, art, and beauty. Both these planets are expansive planets, which means that they have an energy of making things bigger with whatever other planets that they touch with. So what I'm seeing here for you, Gemini, is when it comes to your home life, because this will be where the arrow is a number 2 in your 4th house. So just like the start of the month where the sun was kind of working on this part of your life and, bringing you health, growth, and vitality, by the end of the month, by the new moon, the same energy is going to be here, and the universe is kind of supporting you with whatever it is that you are thinking about and desiring when it comes to this part of your life. So as I said, your home life, what you call your foundations, what you call private, things that you don't put on Facebook, people you live with, what goes on in your home. The recent past also comes into this area of life, and the mother figure as well. But generally speaking, this is the area of life that is quite private to us. So ask yourself, what have you been thinking? What is it that you're desiring? Because the universe is really supporting you to go in a new direction or create a new cycle with this part of your life, should you want to have one. The second thing that's going on is we're going to have the moon. Again, she's pretty busy towards the end of the month. Again, she's going to be forming a opposition with the planet Jupiter. So up on the top of the screen where we've got the planet circled in green and the arrow, this is Jupiter here, the planet that looks a bit like a number 4. Oppositions are definitely decision making, definitely unexpected changes maybe, and definitely a time, or the energy between the planets is kind of one that we consider. It can be quite harsh energy as well, where there's conflict, but you've got the planet Jupiter making this opposition to the moon, so this will soften things. This is definitely going to be about luck, fortune and support, because it's the planet Jupiter, and this is going to fall for you exactly where the arrow and number 3 is, where Jupiter is at the moment. This is your house of hopes, dreams, your aspirations. This is also the house of real important people. When I say important people, these are people that we're not connected to in a romantic way. So these could be co-workers, they could be associates, friends come into this house, people that we're connected with because we do some kind of business with them or we work with them in some way, even people we just connect with on social media that we've never met in real life, that we really connect with or we really get on with, or we're able to kind of have a good rapport with. These kind of people come into this area of life. Jupiter is that planet which brings luck, fortune and expansion as well. He is forming the opposition with the moon, which is about your emotions and how you feel. So again, the universe is kind of saying, you know, what you are feeling is deeply important right now for you, Gemini. And if you have some kind of aspiration, hopes, goals, dreams, if you're working with some important people, quote unquote, in your life, Jupiter could really bring you some luck around this aspiration, this goal, this dream, whatever it is that you desire. So as we close out the month of September, moving into October, your kind of associations and who you are associated with as in other people, they could really be helpful for you. You could really have some luck with this if you've got anything going on in that area of your life. Finally, the last thing around this new moon is that we're going to have the North Node and the planet Uranus, which causes unexpected changes, form a conjunction also. So where we've got on the screen the arrow and number 4, and then we've got a circle in red, we can see the North Node, which is the lighter green colour for the symbol, and just underneath that you've got like a turquoisey colour. This would be the planet Uranus. Now this aspect here has been going on since August, and if you were here in August and you heard me give you your horoscope for then, I would have mentioned to you as well that it's time to prepare yourself for some kind of unexpected changes. This is still happening. It's still happening in your 12th house, and this is the area of life where we often feel held back. So where the arrow and number 4 is exactly where this will be for you. Now the 12th house is quite an interesting area of life because, as I said, it's where we feel held back in life, but it's also how we hold ourselves back, how we can self-sabotage. It's also the house of spirit communication, which means when you get ideas or downloads, or you're seeing synchronicities, or you feel as though your own spirit guides are talking to you, whether you're seeing repeated numbers or 111 or 222, all these kind of things would come under the 12th house when you're actually receiving messages. The other areas of life that this covers is also large institutions that you may deal with. This includes law enforcement, this includes hospitals as well, and it also includes the area of life to do with your own mental well-being and people, situations, places or things that we call them hidden enemies in astrology. So these are people that, or situations, places and things that we think are for our highest good. We think they are on our side, but really sometimes maybe they have some kind of ulterior motive and we don't necessarily know that straight away. But what I'm seeing here is having this conjunction between the North Node, which is about your direction, and Uranus, which is about unexpected changes. It's showing me that for some of you, for Gemini, you potentially could have some kind of breakthrough or unexpected change with areas in your life that you have been feeling pretty blocked in. Wherever you feel as though you've been held back, or whoever, whatever situation, person, place, or thing, it could really start moving forward now if you focus on trying to unblock that energy and trying to tune out whatever it is that you feel has been holding you back. So it's a really, really nice place to have this particular placement. This is going to be going on for a while, and you know, we're closing out September now. We're into the new moon area around the end of the month. So as we move into October, this is still going to be there for you. So I'd like you to think about, Gemini, where you do feel like you've been held back, because the universe is supporting you with making a new direction with this and doing something pretty unexpected that maybe will give you that breakthrough or give you that big break or support or energy or whatever it is that you need. It's really indicating that there's something sudden or unexpected for us all, but for Gemini it is to do with where you feel held back. So I really hope that as we close out September, any Geminis who've been feeling blocked, that this energy really does support you and you move into October in a new energy. Finally then, before we close out the horoscope, just one more thing to let you know. We are going to have a Mercury retrograde again, and this time it's going to be in the sign of Libra. So we can see on the screen here the chart for the day that Mercury does go retrograde. So this is going to happen on the 10th of September. It's around 5:38 a.m. GMT, my local time again, could be the same day or the day before for you, depending where you are. And it will happen when Mercury gets to 8 degrees of Libra. So circled in red, we've got here, this is the planet Mercury. And where this is going to fall for you is where we've got the arrow and number 1. So for Gemini, you will be having a 5th house Mercury retrograde. Now, for anyone who's not familiar with what retrograde is, check the description box. I'm sure I did a video on explaining what retrograde means in detail, but just to brief you, it basically means when a planet has got to the furthest distance that it can and it appears to be moving backwards through a sign from an Earth perspective. So when we have a Mercury retrograde, it is time to rethink and strengthen everything that Mercury deals with, which is our ideas, communication, and it's definitely things like IT and short distance travel or trips or routines that we have. So this is going back through your house of dating, romance, sex, creativity, how you have fun in life. It's a real fun area. It's a very, very creative area of life. So if you have any ideas, if you have been thinking about things, if you have been having some kind of communication with other people, situations, places and things to do with your 5th house, while this retrograde is going on, it's a good idea to really strengthen this and to rethink everything and to make sure what you're thinking is correct and for your own highest good as you're experiencing the retrograde. Now, all astrologers are going to say, you know, be careful of your communication, be careful of your travel, and it's very, very true, because Mercury is that planet that rules over travel and IT. And so oftentimes what can happen when you have a retrograde is that miscommunications happen. You know, people have, you know, they have little conflicts, or they have little how can I explain it, like tiffs, lovers tiffs. I don't know, that's an expression that I often use when people have a misunderstanding, but it's not a big thing, but it's made into a big thing because retrograde is going on. So it's an ideal opportunity for people to misunderstand each other. So when we have a retrograde, do be mindful of your communication and making sure that you're clear. If you are someone who is due to travel as well, as Mercury is retrograding, this will be for a good few weeks until we get into October. Check your route, check your maps, check your bookings, check everything, because we don't want Mercury retrograde to be wreaking havoc on any travel plans you've got. But generally speaking, you know, retrograde can be a positive time. I don't want to make it sound like it's all doom and gloom. I think depending on where a retrograde is happening for you, it can really be an empowering time. And in the 5th house, where we've got the arrow and number 1, where it is actually happening for the sign of Gemini, it's a pretty cool place. You know, it's a place where you have fun, it's your creative area of life, it's your romance, it's your dating, it's your sex life. So it is a good time to, you know, be rethinking and strengthening everything that you think about or everything that you wish for from a mental perspective, or that you're trying to bring to manifestation for that area of your life. So that's about it, Gemini. That's what I have for you this month. And anybody who does want to see the full new moon and full moon reading, which I've done in detail, just check the description box or the pinned comment. Check out Patreon, everything is up for you there. I've also put down the self-care journal writing prompts, the channeled messages from the oracle and the tarot decks, which I have for you for this month, so it's all there. Just check the links. So have a wonderful month, Gemini. If you're new here, why not subscribe? I would love to see you here again. And if you are someone who is returning, then thanks so much. And thank you for the support. Have a great month, and I will see you for the month of October for your horoscope then.